Just wondering, specifically referring to the chemical attacks this week that killed dozens of civilians in Syria, can you tell me who your government believes is responsible for that attack?
About an hour before the military strikes that the Americans conducted last night, Secretary Mattis called Defense Minister Harjit Sajjan to confirm that Bashar al-Assad and his regime were responsible for the horrific attacks on civilians of a few days ago. Minister Sajjan then informed me, and we watched along with the world as the strikes unfolded.
When you were in New York, you seemed to suggest that you wanted to see a much more broad investigation before determining who was to blame. So what information specifically has convinced you that Assad is the one responsible?
A trusted and reliable ally in the United States informed us that the Assad regime was responsible for these chemical attacks. I can confirm that Canada's military role in the region remains unchanged.
And do you regret the decision to pull Canada's CF-18s out of the Middle East, given the circumstances?
Canada has been a strong and valuable ally in the coalition efforts against Daesh. Over the past year, Canadian forces, brave men and women, have been active in northern Iraq, supporting the Peshmerga, participating through training and assisting the various troops in northern Iraq who are winning in the advance against ISIL.
You mentioned that the government has taken action against Daesh specifically, but the Conservative Party has been critical of what it calls your inaction against the Assad regime. I'm wondering if you plan to take action against that.
We understand how important it is that the entire international community be engaged in finding a stable and secure outcome for the Syrian people stuck for far too long, 6 years now, in a horrific civil war. Obviously, we condemn in the strongest possible terms the use of chemical weapons against civilians by the Assad regime and fully support the Americans' limited and precise airstrikes against military strikes against a military target to degrade the regime's capacity to continue these terrible chemical weapons attacks against civilians. We will continue to work with all international partners to pursue a diplomatic resolution of this civil war. I think that is something I discussed with President Trump this morning and with other allies, including Angela Merkel, a few hours ago.